Hello, my name is Christine.
And hello, I'm Andrew, and welcome to our Harvest Festival celebration.
Normally, at this time of the year, we'd be asking some of you to come and join us in our churches to find out what harvest really means.
However, this year we can't do that, so we thought we'd bring you this short video instead. In a moment, Reverend Lorraine will be talking to us about some of the choices that we can make. And then after that, Reverend Joe will be talking about how much better things can be if we share.
So I'm Reverend Lorraine and I'm from St Stephen's Church and I'm here in the supermarket, as you can hear. And I'm going to be trying to find some biscuits and some tea and some crisps, and I'm going to be looking at how many options I have and which ones are my favourite. So I hope you'll join me and maybe you can find out which one's your favourite too. So your crisps, which ones are your favourite crisps? Salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, Monster Munch? And here is the coffee. Which one's your favourite here? Do you like coffee at all, or do you like tea or squash or water? Lots of different shapes and sizes. So we're in the supermarket and there is lots of choice around. About 100 different types of coffee, about 100 different types of tea, loads of biscuits. Maybe you found which one was your favourite, maybe ginger nuts or digestives. But we're going to listen to a story now about two brothers who've been left lots of money and they were arguing. And this is a story when Jesus says stop. When you have lots of money, stop, because that's not going to save you in the end. So Naomi's going to read the story to us today.
Hi everybody, my name is Naomi and I'm training to be a minister with St Margaret's and St Stephen's churches. Today's story is taken from a book from the Bible called Luke, and it's a parable. These are special stories that Jesus told. To help us tell the story today, I'm going to be using some Makaton signs, so I'd love it if you're able to join in. The story of the rich farmer. This is the rich farmer who owned lots of land. This is the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. This is the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. These are the small barns that tried to store the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. These are the larger barns that took the place of the smaller barns that tried to store the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. And these are the truly massive barns that took the place of the larger barns, that took the place of the smaller barns, that tried to store the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. Listen, this is the sound of the all-night party in the big house, not far from the massive barns that took the place of the larger barns, that took the place of the smaller barns, that tried to store the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land. Listen, this is the sound of silence. After the all-night party in the big house, not far from the massive barns that took the place of the larger barns, that took the place of the smaller barns, that tried to store the harvest of wheat grown from the seed that belonged to the rich farmer who owned lots of land, who had forgotten that the most important thing in life was to be rich in the sight of God.
Hello. This summer has been the strangest one of my life, and I'm sure it's been the strangest of yours too. It's been very difficult. It's been really boring being stuck at home, hasn't it? It's been really scary knowing that people are getting sick. If you're anything like me, that's meant that up in our heads we get worried. This summer, that phrase COVID-19 is going to stay with us forever, and there has been so much to worry about, but I want to draw your attention just in a very quick way to the good news that's here too. As I've walked around the estate that I live on over this summer, I saw lots of rainbows in people's houses, but more than that, I saw places where children had coloured in with chalk on the pavement rainbows and messages of support for the NHS, saying things like, we're all in this together. One day I turned the corner having my walk and found somebody had painted a whole host of stones, all sorts of different rainbow colours, and they'd arranged them on the side of the pavement, and it was such a great sight. It made me smile, and I smiled all the way home. I'm glad no one saw me, because they might have thought there was something wrong with me because I kept smiling. This pandemic, this horrible time, has taught us a lot about ourselves too. It's taught us about how important families are, how important the school is, how important our community is. It showed us how we can all pull together and get through. It's shown us that actually we're stronger together than we ever were when we were trying to get on our own. The work of sharing food out in food banks and in community larders, of those who have sharing with those who haven't, are lessons that I know your schools have been teaching you all the time. But to see them in the rest of the world has been exciting. We will get through this, and we will get through it stronger than we entered it, because we'll have learnt a little bit more about what life was really about. I want to finish by asking you just to look at the people you're sitting around and amongst, people in your class, the people in your hall, and your teachers. And as you do, I'm going to say a few words of prayer and blessing. Lord, I thank you for those we share our lives with, those who make us laugh, those who really annoy us. We thank you that you put us together in this school, in this community, and we ask, Lord God, that you might bless us and carry us through this, and that together we might know hope and love and your blessing. Amen. As we draw towards Christmas, my hope and prayer is that you might continue to enjoy one another's company, and that you might be strengthened in your determination as teachers and as people within the school. The good days are awaiting us, and that together we'll be better than when we started this. God bless you. On behalf of myself from Wimpole Road Methodist and all of the churches and communities of faith working together here in the Newtown area. Amen.